sou o Rex e a convite da Universal Pictures eu fui assistir ao filme e entrevistar o elenco de Hobbs & Shaw em dois lugares totalmente diferentes.
Well, it's the fourth time now.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you again.
Yeah.
People ask me for one of your stuntmen, and I have to say that...
You too, you're bigger than me, yes.
No, because I have to say them the affordable version.
The affordable version, that's good.
I'm a huge fan of you. I was in Brazil, one of the stuntmen from the villains in Expendables.
It's a few years ago, right?
A few years ago. Yes, in Rio.
Yeah.
I was one of the bad guys. Now, this movie, Shaw and Hobbs, they don't get to know each other. But it's a story, it's a franchise about family, about friendship, about loyalty, family issues. And how was to bring and manage this in the movie when a character that you can't stand, but is a necessary need and evil, and being the good guy and the conflict between the characters?
It's part of what we call the hidden ingredient. You know, we need that conflict. We need the arc, the transition from, you know, wanting to kill each other to having to work together and save the day. One of the things that people can respond the most to, you know, it's how do these people eventually put their ego to the side to save the world and become the heroes that they are.
That's my door. Pick another door.
What's wrong with you?
You've done a lot of action movies. Was this different in any way because you have to, you know, expand your character in a way we never seen before?
It was very different because this is based off a character now. This is the fifth time that the audiences would have seen Hobbs. And the third time I think the audience would have seen Shaw. So the challenge is to make sure that we are respecting the DNA of Fast and Furious. Family, awesome cars, a lot of explosions, great action, things like that. But then also want to make sure that we had our own identity and that we bought our own brand of fun and comedy. And
it was perfect.
Yes, and like hand-to-hand combat and things like that. And especially with the comedy, like that was important.
I'm sorry to bring trouble here, Mama, but I need my brothers.
Roman, it's your first time on a screen. How was for you to deal with huge names like Dwayne and Jason on your first movie?
To be honest, you would think it would be intimidating, and you know, it would be a lot of egos and just, you know, have that stuffy feel, but it was the exact opposite, you know. And I don't know if it was the location or just how everybody is in general, you know, within, you know, their real life personas and just who they are as human beings, but everybody was great. Everybody, you know, it didn't have that feel of, you know, big stars here, big stars there. Everybody kind of checked, you know, their egos at the door and put the film first. So I think with the message of what we're doing here, with the representation of Fast and Furious, and this being the first spin-off, I think everybody had it in their mind to take this very serious, come to work, knock it out of the park, and just put their best foot forward, and everybody treated everyone in that manner, you know. As long as you're there to work hard, I think you were accepted.
Well, I love the movie. It's incredible, it's amazing, it's funny. It's like the 80s back again.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
How was for you to, you know, bring this new face to the franchise, and especially with the Civatao and this incredible Samoan war dance that makes you vibrate during the entire movie and want to be part of this?
Yes. I mean, it made me feel great. It's so gratifying because it's like if you had an opportunity to showcase your culture to people who may not be familiar with your culture. You're from Brazil, right?
Exactly.
So maybe there's Brazilian culture that you want to show the world. You have an opportunity to show the world. Here it is. So, well, that was the same thing with me. We had an opportunity to showcase Samoan culture to the world and do a ceremonial ritual, a dance called the Civatao, which is very similar to like the Maori haka that you've seen teams do and men and women do, but it's very emotional when you do this because you're harnessing the spirits and your ancestors who are no longer here. So we were on set doing that, and when I saw the movie with a crowd, with an audience for the first time, it was very special.
I must say that Toiha is the great scream, battle scream, you know?
Yes.
It was amazing. Hello, Chris. First, it's an honor meeting you. After all, you are the writer of this epic.
Oh, thank
And the best thing for me in the movie is the dialogues.
Oh, good.
You think I'm stupid? Of course I think you're stupid.
Do they do it by their own, or did you write it? Or it
It's
was
a combination. Yeah, so normally what'll happen is I will do the script and I'll put in, all the dialogue but it's always a blueprint. Everyone on these movies, we have a philosophy that is, the best idea wins, right? Everyone collaborates. It just makes it great to work with, and I'm glad that you like that.
On my three, sure. 1, 2, 3.
in your movie. There's a lot of CGI.
Yes.
What do you do to make it feel real? Is there a commitment with the real?
Yeah, there's a real close blend between the practical action and the real stunts and the CGI. It's sort of my methodology on these big movies where you need to have CGI to up the spectacle and to defy physics. But as much as you can get in camera will challenge the artists to make the CGI better. And so that's always been my methodology, and I try to get as much in camera as possible.
For you, being a movie with a budget so big as this one is a dream to all writers.
Always.
So could you imagine something like when you're writing, say, no, that's not possible, but then you think, okay, no, we have the budget to do it. Let's do it.
And it happens in each movie.
There were moments when we, the final sequence with the helicopter and the cars, and they're like,
And all the brothers coming in along the seaside cliff that rolls into a fight, that rolls into, it's an enormous action sequence.
how much of this can we actually achieve, and logistically, and like what are we going to do, and like challenging the special effects department to build rigs to drive the cars on 2 wheels.
But it felt right. It felt right for the characters, and thankfully the studio let us do it.
You are the director, but you can't go out of the stuntman.
No,
It's still on you.
it still
So
is.
how was to be thrown away by the window?
It's funny that
For Jason.
Yes, we did the get thrown out of the helicopter, and it was really fun. Again, for stunts, it was really small, but maybe for a director, it was big. But for my stunt career, that was an easy stunt. But it's really fun to just put on the knee pads one more time and fall out of a helicopter.
It's a passion, right?
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
How was to do that to your boss?
It's a great moment. So we laugh a lot. I've trained at Dave's gym over in LA for many, many years. So I know Dave really well off camera, and to see his ascent into this incredible director, he's on the tip of every studio's lips. People want to sign him up for the next 20 years.
It's hard for me not to get in front and do some physical line readings, like this is how I would do it.
Nice lighting.
Hello, Ellen.
Hi there.
It's an honor meeting you. Big fan. You were once Queen Elizabeth and the Sorcerer Morgana and a retired assassin. In all these roles you made, what's the kind of role you expect to do from now on? A different one?
Last time someone asked me that question, I made the big mistake of opening my mouth and saying, well, I'd quite like to play Catherine the Great of Russia. HBO thought, okay, yes, we'll pay for that. And I found myself playing Catherine the Great of Russia.
Do you know what I hold in my hand?
But honestly, I like roles that surprise me. And my role in Fast and Furious and in Hobbs and Shaw is one of those roles that I would never have expected to play. And I don't think the audience particularly would have expected me to be playing it. But of course, those are the roles that I really, really enjoy because they're surprising. They're a type of film I've never done before. It's a new experience for me. I just want new experiences all the time.
Well, hello, Vanessa.
Hello.
It's an honor meeting you. You were first a princess in The Queen, and then you were a weapon dealer in Mission Impossible, and now you are this badass agent in Hobbs and Shaw. And how is for you the similarity between these characters?
I suppose it's an energy of it, like completely different genres. Even Mission is very different to this. This is like super forceful, like quite bold people.
Your sister is one of the toughest, baddest, most capable women I've ever encountered.
No one could do it better.
My kind of girl.
In this movie, you make the classic super villain. With the objective to kill us all, and the classic movie plots. And how was from you to take inspiration to create this character? From comic book, movie, old series that you saw when a kid?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, my character had a characteristic that allowed the Fast and the Furious franchise to step into the sci-fi world a little bit, Typically, the franchise is in the real world, bad guys, syndicates, crime syndicates. This character is from the future. And for me, the inspiration was, looking at Terminator, for example, where you had a character who was all robot. My character was part man, part machine. I really wanted to find a way to give him a heartbeat, something that's real.
I'm Black Superman.
You're crazy.
In the movie, you are an agent that can shoot, hack computer, fights, but you're also willing to do the ultimate sacrifice for mankind. How is for you to bring this character with so much willpower to this franchise?
Yes, I suppose the conversations that we had about her at the beginning were always about that she's like very brave and that she kind of is the one driving the narrative, because usually it's the men and the women are kind of watching, just in, traditionally in genre movies like this. And so it was like really exciting, the idea of trying to create a new kind of energy where she really, drove all her action sequences, did all the fighting herself, and also was the one that put the virus in her, so that she was the one trying to, driving the story, and that was exciting.
You have no idea what we're dealing with.
And how was for you to get booked for this movie? Because you're huge in the movie, man.
Am I? Yeah, it's a leather suit. It's the leather suit. I did a lot of training because the director wanted to see lots of fighting. He wanted to see me fighting and me and Jason doing it, so we had to stay fit. We had to.
Did you ask for a vehicle for you?
No,
because
I didn't.
Everyone has a vehicle
I
in
know.
the movie.
I wasn't interested in that. I was like, show me how to actually do it with my hands. I was like, I don't need a car.
We're gonna need cars and guns.
Oh, I can handle that part.
You know that you make the challenge of the bottle cup, the round kick.
Yeah.
And in Brazil, it's a huge success.
Right.
Do you see any of those videos?
I see a lot of them. A friend sent it to me, and I remember seeing Max Holloway do it, and he sent it to him. And 2 days later, I got the challenge. I was like, oh no.
I tried and hit a lot of bottles. And
but it was good fun to do.
There's a famous one in Brazil. There's a lady that throws a slipper and she could open it.
You do it with a slipper, yeah?
Rip it.
You see people doing it with cars. It gets people to get very creative.
We're living in the golden age of superheroes.
Yep.
From every studios. Marvel is entering their fourth phase now, and there's also DC Comics. If you have to choose a character and the tone of the movie, which character would you think would be perfect for you?
Rambo.
I think Dwayne's like the biggest action movie star on the planet right now. I think he's a superhero.
Well, I get compared to the character Lobo quite a bit.
I thought the same.
Yeah, so I get that a lot, like on social media. A lot of people saying that I should, look into that role, but why not a long-haired Superman?
I mean, I always loved Catwoman, I have to say.
Wow.
I loved Catwoman.
Yeah.
You're gonna be wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we try and play superheroes without special powers, and I think there's a relatable element to that. I mean, the superhero world is great, but we're trying to do the same things that they do, but without without flying through the sky and without the costume. Without flying through the sky and.
I would love that. I would love it. Nothing on the cards.
What you say?
I know everybody loves those movies, and it would be an honor to join them.
Are we still gonna see you in the famous Black Adam?
Yes.
I'm counting on this, man.
Black Adam is coming. Yes, we should start shooting that probably around, hopefully May, June of next year. Yes.
Perfect.
We can't wait.